Hello, this is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, so it's been a long time since we used the E for tech for entertainment, and today we are bringing that, and that is a movie review for Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. And here's the thing about this movie, I'm going to address what I named it right away, the perfect ending in a movie for fans and not critics. So before you type everything, please at least hear the first 2 minutes of this explanation and why this is it. Okay, the perfect ending. What do I mean by that? I mean, it's the perfect ending for what they had to deal with and what they had to do. Fandom was split and upset after The Last Jedi, and one thing they needed to do to make the most of fans happy is wipe The Last Jedi off the face of the earth because of what Rian Johnson and Kathleen Kennedy did to Star Wars. Now that being said, it did that perfectly compared to what it could do. It did that amazingly well, and because it did that, and before I get the Last Jedi fanboys, let's explain this. Luke throwing his lightsaber. It's like the Martha scene in BVS. You cannot defend it. It was not like him, not even with the explanation they gave us. Nothing had to deal with it. It was horrible. It was a good movie, you could say, but it wasn't a good Star Wars movie, and we'll get to that versus fans and critics in a second. So here's the thing. It also had to deal with Leia, kind of like a Paul Walker situation with what happened to Carrie Fisher, and this was even less footage than they had from that. So putting those two, I think it was the perfect ending to wrap up all of the trilogies and put it all together in this to leave at least a satisfying ending. And I really do want to see, you could see where little things will branch off if they want to do separate movies later, but I would love to see this whole crew back. Like, I want to see it continue, quite frankly. I know there's not going to be any more trilogies, but hey, maybe we can have an overarching storyline. We'll get to that in a second. Overall, why do I think this is a movie for fans and not critics? Now, Ricky, fans are critics. You don't think every critic isn't a fan? Absolutely, but here's the difference. Critics see 20 plus movies a year. The average going movie fan, maybe 3 at most. I mean, not many people see as many movies as these critics. And the difference is you look for different things. Fans of movies and the movie-going experience don't want an in-depth story, don't want great plot twists, don't want in-depth characters. Some do, some don't. But what all fans want is just to be entertained and have fun at the movies. That's what we go to see movies for. Those are the $2 billion films, are nonsense, simple story, fun. Period. Numbers, point proven. Here's the thing. What critics want is always like more in-depth, more unique, more feature storytelling. And that's great. That's great. Look, it's not a bad thing. It's just a difference of palette or a difference in what you look for. Video games. I know friends that only like the storyline. I know friends that only like gameplay. And when you get that one game that comes along that has the two perfectly together, it's all the better for it. But most aren't like that. Most are either one or the other, satisfying either one or the other. So that's what this movie is. It's going to satisfy one side where I don't really feel it's going to satisfy the other side. It is not an in-depth saga movie. It really is just fun, and what Star Wars is just more fun entertainment, and that's it. It's a movie made for kids in the sense of the prequels, but it does do a much better job than I would say the prequels did. So overall, that's why I feel this is a movie really made more for fans and not critics, in the sense that you're not getting anything deep. You're not getting, huge character development, although there is some good ones, in my opinion, for little new characters and really what the time they have. This movie should have been longer. It should have been given more time to wrap things up. There was one scene that I know I wanted to see that took place off screen, and I was like, that would have been great. I wanted to see that. So there are things that I do not like about the movie, for sure. For one, I didn't like the whole thing in The Last Jedi with the Reylo, fanboys and all that stuff. But that is in this movie, that they address it. And that's the thing. They address pretty much everything in The Last Jedi while saying, nope, forget that, and address this, okay. And again, that's what I do like about it. Now, the whole trilogy as a whole, I feel like isn't really cohesive. It doesn't make sense. but that I do blame on Kathleen Kennedy and Rian Johnson. Now, first of all, I blame Kathleen Kennedy for all of it just because there should have been an overarching storyline. In Marvel, you get a storyline, a plot point. Okay, this is what needs to happen overall in these movies for us to get from Avengers Ultron to Infinity War. Perfect. There's a plan. It's a great plan. And here's the difference between DC and Star Wars. There was no plan. There was, let's make this movie and, tie all these and get these threads ready so we can get something going in the next movie. And that's all it was. That was not good storytelling. It's literally not having writers be on the same page. So it wasn't good storytelling, and this trilogy really is the worst at a overarching story compared to the original trilogy, which obviously is still the best, the prequels, which did have a better storyline through and through than this one did. And overall, that's going to be the difference for me, is that this as a trilogy is easily the weakest. But I will say that honestly, these are not my least favorite Star Wars by any means. I think the original trilogy is still the best. Nothing's going to touch that. But overall, I really do like this one and The Force Awakens very much. I also like Revenge of the Sith. And I will take the other two prequel movies over The Last Jedi easily any day of the week. Overall, I think this movie is Star Wars in terms of this was made for kids. It's kind of like back to what George Lucas said when we didn't like the prequels and now we can kind of appreciate them more over time. And that is, the movies are made for kids. That's what they're made for. And this movie is. It's made just to be fun, just for that nostalgia pop, just for that good, funny experience, the little haha jokes, all that kind of stuff. They do come more natural. Some are a little forced in. But overall, I think this is the perfect ending to the Star Wars saga. Although I do hope we get to see this cast more. Like, I want to see where these characters' stories go. I'm not going to say anything because, just in case all this kind of spoilers. This is a spoiler-free review, obviously. If you do want to see a spoiler review, I can go more in-depth of the things that I did not like at all, and more over the things that I thought did work or I saw where they were going with it. If you want to see that, let me know in the comment section down below. But overall, I think this is the perfect ending to the Skywalker saga, which is all that it needed to be. And in my opinion, it's the best storyline ending they could have had. Alright guys, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. How many likes will I get? How many dislikes will I get? I'm sure it's going to be a good mixture. Thank you as always for watching. This has been RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Thank you for watching our video. If you liked it, why don't you go ahead and subscribe up there. Make sure you follow us on social media right here. And of course, check out our latest video up there. And right down here, you're going to find the perfect video for you. Or at least that's what YouTube tells me. Thanks again.